this football club.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Hey guys, Chelsea have recently dropped points to both 19th place and 20th place Sheffield United and Burnley respectively. 10-man Burnley, by the way. And which is where I completely lost my mind. And I'm close to doing the same here after we've drawn with Sheffield United conceding a, 92nd minute equalizer. We are, to quote, is it Liam Twomey of The Athletic, has stated on a couple of occasions, this Chelsea team that we are suffering, has this really unique knack of ascending its performance level against its opponent or descending it. Excuse me, I guess I'm allergic to terrible performances. And we did it again. We made Burnley look good. You could say Burnley raised their game against Chelsea. Sheffield raised their games against Chelsea. And maybe they did to a degree, but there's a recurring factor there, ladies and gentlemen. There's a recurring theme, and that is they're playing against Chelsea. Oh my God. Again, I'm not happy with the manager. Just as soon as he does something right, the Man United performance inspired, and the fact how United got a draw against Liverpool made our win against them look a bit better, I think, personally. But then, he said he looked a bit of passion on the touchline from the manager, Chelsea fans like that. He finally, I thought he was finally saying the right things at the end of the game, referencing Tottenham, and just say I felt like we were moving in the right direction. But this is us all freaking season, man. If we'd won this, right, like we should have done, like we were winning in the 92nd minute, we have a game in hand against Tottenham. Granted, you got to win that game in hand. But then we go to sixth. We'd be level on points with Man United, who are in sixth, I believe, but we'd have a better goal difference, I think. Is that right? Anyway, whatever. The point being, I did a video recently when I was breaking down how we could finish in Europa League spots, certainly Europe. But when I was making these videos, right, I was saying, okay, we got to play Man United, draw. But you know where I was saying win 3 points? I was saying win 3 points against 19th and 20th place, Burnley and Sheffield United. Let's talk about this. All right. A 4-2-3-1. I'm not happy with the gaffer. He played Gallagher on both wings. We had 2 right wingers and 2 left wingers available, respectively. And yet we still have time to play Conor Gallagher on both the left wing and the right wing. Maybe I'm missing some insightful tactical nous where I can't comprehend why that's an important thing. The frustrating thing about what we are having to go through this season is there is positive stuff. I do feel like the cohesiveness of the midfield needs to be sorted out massively. Look, we're going to talk about that whole freaking backline and the goalkeeper. Don't worry, stay with me, boys and girls. But Chuck Wemeka is a great player. I'm really excited about him. Noni scoring a great goal again, as he is, tends to do. Cole Palmer. We've got exciting players, young players, and the future's bright. Jackson is a good player, but he'll be an excellent number 2 striker. Should we buy a number 1 striker, which I think we will. I think we need a goalkeeper big time as well. But this backline, so we played a 4-2-3-1. Petrovic in goal, Cucurella left back, Disasi right back, Silva came back in to partner Trevoh Chalobah, and then we saw Fernandes, Caicedo, Cole Palmer was in the number 10, Gallagher was left wing, and Noni Madueke was right wing. So basically, Pochettino here was trying to find a way to get both Noni. He probably felt like Noni deserved to start, which he did. In this game, he did well to draw the penalty at Man United. Generally, Noni's been a good servant to Pochettino. But he wants those 2 right-winger left-footers. You can't drop Cole Palmer, so you move Cole Palmer into the number 10. That's fine. but drop Gallagher or put Gallagher in. I know he's been bad in the double pivot. Don't play Gallagher at left wing, or like change it quickly, especially when you've got like, look, Mudryk likes space to run into. Just play Sterling then. You know, like I know he's not the most popular Chelsea player at the moment, but like play Raheem Sterling, whatever. Like just play an actual left winger. I feel bad for Gallagher because he'll catch heat for this. Like, but it's not his role. It's not, he's not a left winger. It has to be on the manager there, and hopefully he'll take responsibility as he should. But I'll talk about the players because we're not a balanced squad at all. And look, again, that's not our starting back four. It's just not. Like, our starting back four is Reece James and even Gusto, and Gusto maybe even at left back at this point with Reece James at right back. I still would always start Chile at left back, even though it's poor form. I do believe in him, his ability, his profile. And then, centre backs, probably the future, the good right-footed, the good left-footer, Levi Colwill and Wesley Fofana. I know Jan stopped going on about Wesley Fofana, but it's true. He's the guy for the future. So we won't see these men. We do need to sort out the cohesion between Enzo and Caicedo. I do wonder if it's a managerial coaching thing that leaves them exposed. And the attackers are fun. The attackers are young and exciting. Put a senior striker in there or a 25-year-old Osimhen. I don't know if we're going to sign friggin' Osimhen, especially if we don't finish in any form of Europe. Although I did, just on a slight tangent, I did like those quotes I saw on social media from Ange Postecoglou about Tottenham, about do you need to qualify for the Champions League to attract players, and he sort of said, well, no, if you just want to join Tottenham to play in the Champions League, we don't want you. We want you to, and I kind of liked that. In a way, I hope, but that's why. Some of the players joined Chelsea when they did, Caicedo. Obviously, he wasn't joining Chelsea to play in the Champions League. He probably wants to get Chelsea back to the Champions League. Players obviously want the ambition to play in the Champions League. But that should be secondary. Your first ambition to be like, I want to play for this club and this badge in this league, And if they're a Champions League club, generally it means you're playing for a good club. Chelsea are a big, good club. That feels like it's in threat. But yes, it'll be interesting to see if that is a factor for players. Like, does an Osimhen say, oh, I need to go to a Champions League club? Or would he say, actually, yeah, I'd like to join Chelsea. Chelsea's the club that I, kind of supported growing up. Love Drogba. I like the idea of playing in the Chelsea kit. I'll sign for Chelsea. We'll get us back to where we need to be and have some big wins. So I kind of do, as loath as I am to align myself with Tottenham anyway, I do align myself with what Ange Postecoglou says there. If you're like, oh, I want to just, sign for this club because they're in the Champions League, it's kind of like more mercenary mentality to show they're not really interested in you as an institution, a club, as a project. I know that's a dirty word. But anyway, I've gone off on a tangent here. Let's go back to the game. So yes, the back four was poor, and the midfield remains dysfunctional, and the attack was severely lacking a conventional left winger, which is on the manager. We scored a goal in the 11th minute, the returning O Monstro assist Conor Gallagher, which is nice to see. We all want that, don't we? We love Thiago Silva. This made sense to bring him back in for this game. I don't think he did anything particularly wrong. It probably the best player along the back line. I think the back line was terrible, but that's not down to Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva was doing what was within his power. Bar one thing that upset me, of course, after he scored, he played a blind pass back that nearly gave Sheffield a goal, which made me feel sick. But yeah, nice to see Thiago Silva score. And then it has to be said, the equalizer from Jadon Bogle. Petrovic, I'm done, bro. I'm done. I reference on my social media, on my Instagram when I do lives and stuff. Chelsea, people speak about Drogba and Costa, the strikers that we haven't replaced. We need to talk about Cech and Courtois. Edouard Mendy had a good purple patch when we won the Champions League. He won FIFA best goalkeeper or whatever, but I think he was playing above himself, if that makes sense. And I think there was a moment there when all of us thought that, this 14 million pound MLS goalkeeper could be the solution to Chelsea's goalkeeping problems. I don't think that's the truth, guys. And yeah, for Petrovic to get done at his near post like he did, it was pretty poor, to be honest. Really, really poor. And of course, we see some yellows. Is it Jack Robinson, who should have been sent off, I think, for the tackle on Cole Palmer? I think the fact how Cole Palmer like got up and shrugged it off did him a favour, because if Cole Palmer like maybe played like, you know, the victim a little bit and rolled around, I think they would have looked a little bit closer, because that was a horrendous tackle from Jack Robinson. But I wasn't, you know, I was just pleased Cole Palmer wasn't injured, and I was like, well, whatever, you know, we've got lots of time, this is Sheffield United, let's just go and win it like we should do. And it looks like we do that. Cole Palmer, who wasn't broken by the Robinson tackle, assists a Noni Madueke wonder goal. Is it quite a wonder goal? It's a lovely goal. The caliber of Noni's goals are very, very high. And that looks, I mean, we had a long way to go, but my match prediction for this was 3-1 to Chelsea. I knew we'd concede because it's just our style. I didn't know, you know, friggin' Petrovic would be like welcoming the ball into his net like an open door, like, come in! But yeah, I knew we'd concede, but I thought 3-1, and I thought, all right, we're leading in the 66th minute now, 2-1, my prediction's on. Maybe we'll get a 4-1. Why not, you know? Despite this sort of like dysfunctional look, you know, to the team. Chukwuemeka comes on for Palmer in the 74th minute, and I completely endorse that and remain to be happy with that. You might say in hindsight, oh, we should have kept Cole Palmer on, he'd score a goal or whatever. We were leading, Carney's very, very good, and we all, well, I don't want to speak for you, but many of us want to see Chukwuemeka, he's a very good player, and Cole Palmer was getting brutalised like he has been a lot lately. The fact how Robinson didn't send him off on a stretcher was you know, great. So Cole Palmer created what looked like the winner. We want to see Carney. I completely signed off on that substitution, so I think people just need to look at it that way. Of course, later on we do bring on a conventional left winger, bring off Noni, and then just for the memes, Conor Gallagher goes from left winger to right winger. Kukurea gets a booking, a good professional foul on transition. We don't score, we go up and down, up and down, up and down, and I'll be like, I was thinking, come on, let's get this third goal. And of course, Cameron Archer, who comes off the bench, who's been injured, he came off the bench in the 87th minute. He assists an Ollie McBurney equalizer, and it's just dumb. It's so dumb. I think the centre-backs were actually poor. There was moments as well where Silva wasn't great at tracking, but Chalobah I think was really poor at tracking and just winning. He wasn't winning the 50-50s. I know it's Sheffield United at home and they're scrapping for their lives and they're a team of big boys, and you know it's going to be tough to win your 50-50s against them, but come on, mate. And yeah, they were even going for a winner, which is hilarious, and we dropped points to Sheffield United. In the wider footballing world, this will shock absolutely no one. So where do we go from here? Like, we could still qualify for the Conference League if, you know... You just don't know, do you? Like, we could beat good teams. We can lose to terrible teams. We're just so peculiar and inconsistent. I think Pochettino has to hold this one. I think he risked too much. I think he disrespected Sheffield. I get it. Like we all naturally would disrespect Sheffield United. They have been absolutely dismal this season, like awful. And can I just say a stat that will upset you all? In their last 3 home games in a row, they lost on aggregate 16-0. And I repeat, their last 3 home games prior to when Chelsea came to town, they've lost 16-0. 16, they've eaten 16 goals with no reply. Chelsea come to town, give them a point. Absolutely criminal. I just don't get it, mate. It's just mind-boggling, isn't it? And understandably, we're all effed off. What happens now? Well, obviously, the coach is staying until at least the summer. We've got... and to be honest, like... Can I just say on the coach, like... I think does some stuff okay, but like... He leaves us so exposed, right? And maybe that's a personnel thing. Maybe it's an experience thing. And maybe that will get better with growth, time, and signings. Playing devil's advocate here. But I'm just seriously concerned that we're that exposed all the freaking time. Like, we've conceded 2 goals in at least 2 goals in like 4 consecutive games or something. Like, this is wild, bro. This defense is mental bad. So, I wouldn't, unless we win the FA Cup, and which we will qualify for Europa League anyway of winning the FA Cup. If he wins the FA Cup and we look way more solid by the end of the season, I'm just not going to be sold on this manager. I'm sorry. I understand, like, I'm not asking for anyone else, though. This is why I'm trying to be measured about it, because I was saying on my Instagram, like, De Zerbi getting touched, his Brighton team looking very, very poor. I'm just not interested in De Zerbi at all. Ruben Amorim going to Liverpool, it looks like. And I watched that video of the Euro expert from The Athletic explaining why he wouldn't fit Chelsea anyway. Of course, Xabi Alonso is staying at Bayer Leverkusen, not that he'd want to come to Chelsea. I made a video recently saying how I would like Thiago Motta to come to Chelsea, how I think he's an exciting young manager, works with young players, probably good at managing up, and they're massively overperforming. So I was like, his look great. It looks like he's got a verbal agreement to become the Juventus manager. Like, that was like today, news breaking today. I made that video days ago. A lot of people questioned me. Well, Juventus won him, mate, so... yeah, I don't think another manager comes in and just makes this immediately better anyway, but I don't know, bro. Chopping and changing, injuries, inconsistent. Like, I mean, there's mitigating factors. So why do we lose this game? Well, the manager underperforms in many ways, and this was a demonstration of that today, I believe. I think, we are decimated by injuries, and especially along the back. I mean, that is without question. The midfield's yet to click, and we need a better goalkeeper. There you go. I've sorted it out. What do you think, though? Please do let me know. Comment down below. Try not to get too wound up by it. Don't let these mugs ruin your upcoming week. And yeah, keep it locked. Thank you. Goodbye.